Welcome to the 3 Acts of Goodness Stories. Today, we are going to tell a story taken from the 100 Parables. Let's begin our story called A Home in the Sky. Mr. Summer and Mr. Winter were good friends, though their personalities were entirely different. Mr. Summer was as warm and friendly as the sun. Mr. Winter, on the other hand, was always surrounded by a cloud of gloom. One day, Mr. Winter went to see Mr. Summer. When he arrived at the Mr. Summer house, he thought, "Such a beautiful home. Wow. It is 3 stories high, spacious, and comfortable." Mr. Winter was so touched by the sight that he smiled a very rare smile. "I am just as rich as Mr. Summer," he thought. "I could build a house exactly like this." So Mr. Winter went to an architect. The architect said to him, "You want to build a house like Mr. Summer's? I also designed his home, so it will be a piece of cake." The architect began drawing up the design and hired workers to do the construction. After the work on his new home had begun, Mr. Winter went to see how things were coming along. He saw the workers digging the foundation and suddenly became concerned. "Do you know what kind of house I want?" he asked one of the workers. The worker wiped the sweat from his brow and replied, "You want a 3-story house, just like Mr. Summer's house." Mr. Winter panicked when he heard this. "No! But I just want the 3rd floor. Forget about the rest of it," he said. The worker was flabbergasted. "How can I build a home in the sky? Without the 1st and 2nd floors, there will be nothing to hold up the 3rd floor. Try as you may, you will not find anyone who can do it." But Mr. Winter could not be persuaded. He looked futilely for years and years for someone who could build just the 3rd floor. So what have we learned from this story? There are people like this among the disciples of Buddha. They long for sainthood, but instead of devoting their lives to the Buddha and Buddhism, they while away their days in idleness. They wish to forget the first 3 stages of sainthood and go directly to the last stage. Such people are ridiculed, just like the fool above.
Hope you liked today's stories. See you back here next Saturday night at 9 p.m. for our new episode of 3 Acts of Goodness Stories. Good night, sweet dreams.
下个星期六晚上9点，记得再次收听三好新故事。下次见。